Yo, good morning. It is time for coffee talk. It is Guido coming from the left side Atlantic with my nice coffee.
And it's Pilgrim from the correct side of the Atlantic with his Pilgrim mug, which are no longer on offer anymore, but the Guido mug is. Buy 10 in a pack, you get 50% off. All day long.
10 mugs.
10 mugs just for one person.
I don't know what
Absolutely.
what would you do with 10 mugs?
I don't know, stack them up, make a wall? I don't know.
You could make a very small wall.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tiny wall for your Joe 90 figure, your Action Man figure.
You're actually it's a tiny GI Joe wall
Yeah.
of mugs. Good morning, Gator, Fast Red Horse, 8th Hussers. We're just discussing as we get into channel news here that we have not played a lot of World of Tanks this week.
No. But I played none.
That's not a
I feel
lot.
a bit of a fraud.
That is not a lot. None is not a lot. Wayne, thanks for the sub. I played 12 games, Pilgrim. 12, that's it.
Just 12.
Just 12.
Was it 12 because you had other things to do, or 12 because it was just a pretty poopy time this week?
Some of both, actually.
Alright.
Some of both. Yeah, I was kind of busy, but that wasn't just it. So in the last 3 days, I played 4 games. 3 days ago,
Really? Wow.
3 days ago, I played 2, lost them both in a row, and implemented my 2 losses. This is not fun rule
Yeah.
because there was no point to either one of them. And then the next day, I don't know what. I think I just got into Bannerlord 2 days ago. I just
Yeah,
was
yeah.
doing that in DCS, and then yesterday
Yeah.
I actually sat down. Yesterday's Saturday, right? And it's early afternoon. I've done my chores in the morning, done a couple things. The wife went out to do some work in her classroom, so I had probably 2 or 3 hours. I said, "All right, let's start up the personal reserves. We're gonna do some World of Tanks. Maybe I can create some content here, get a couple games that are worthy, that kind of stuff." 2 games later, I turned it off and left.
Yeah, there you go. The 2-game rule works for me, sir. Works for me. Mine is slightly different. Mine's a 3-game rule. So if I have three losses in a row, I'm done. But yeah, that works for me. Just got to do something else.
Got Malnovka,
Did you?
tier 8 battle in my XM whatever thing. Pretty good tank.
Yeah, morning, no bro.
Spawn in, start heading up the hill, looking out at the field, and then 3 guys are dead, to include our tier 8 scout. And then I noticed that their ELC even 90 has infiltrated into our backfield within a minute and a half.
It's over by then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Over.
minute and a half. There's what I believe was at first was an AFK T29 kind of a round cap, but then he dies. He starts moving, but then he dies pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The team goes up the hill. They don't send anyone up the hill, so they're doing the peeking over the edge, shooting down, bleeding hit points, because everyone can kind of hide down at the
Yeah.
bottom of the hill.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. And there's no light. There's nothing lighting anything up down below.
yeah, because our light tank was up on the hill. The second
really?
one. The second one. I did, oh brute, and you should never, ever, ever do that.
No.
Never do that.
No.
So then
Backdoor entry.
we had actually it wasn't an all tier 8, it was an 8 and 7 battle. Might have even been an 8-7-6. But anyway, the Eagle 7 was on the hill with us. He figured it out. He headed down back into the trees down below to try to find their ELC, which is a fool's errand. But he gave it a shot. I couldn't even be bothered. I just sat on the hill and took a couple more sniper shots that bounced.
Your apathy was
It was.
Was it?
I mean, the winning move, not the winning move,
Jimmy
the
Gunn?
the attempt to win move, or the Hail Mary, let's try to save this shit show move, was for me to go with the Eagle 7 down into the trees and try to help him out down there, and he did engage even. Maybe if I'd have done that, we might have been able to turn it around. But I was just like, this is dumb. And the other reason I didn't do it is as I watched the other guys on the hill, they just kept pushing down the other side,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's clever. That's really clever.
dying, of course, as they went.
Of course, yeah. And as much you can type all day long. Don't give their campers shots. Come back to base or do the other flank. Well, people just ignore it. They don't even look at it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
But it sounds very much like my last prop battle I had, where I think I was in a medium. I can't remember. It was a leopard, or maybe it was the Tier 9 map. Anyway, but I went up the hill, and I was the only one up the hill, and everybody else camped on the 2 line, even the heavies. I was like, what's going on here? What? Why? You know, somebody went the 5-6 line as to do peek and poke above the train tracks.
Yeah.
And I was up the hill on my own. I had a TD behind me on the hill at the back, and then the rest of them went the 1-2 line and just camped it.
To the back corner.
Yeah, that corner.
Yeah.
3 heavies, about 5 TDs, an arty. I was like, okay, I'll just sit here then.
Yep. Then the next game was Airfield, and you can
was it?
and you can imagine how fun that one was.
Oh yeah.
Bouncing, oh my god, I bounced like at least two kill shots off of a Cheeto SP. Missed a couple more kill shots. I mean, he had like 72 hit points for a bit of our duel. And then I got surrounded. The team was dead by then. I got surrounded by 4 tanks. Bounced the front of a T-34-2. So, yeah.
Yay! I think I'll go and dig the garden. Sod it.
But DCS has been good. I've been enjoying that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll be very honest with you. I've not tried it yet. I have reinstalled the game, but I haven't really got time to go and sit down because I'll have to start learning. It's very complicated when you're not a pilot.
Dude, it's a rabbit hole. Even if you are a pilot, it
Yeah.
is an absolute rabbit hole.
Yeah, so-
Slick and I, Stump wasn't available, but Slick and I went. We did some flying on Tuesday, and then towards the end, we're like, "Hey, let's just run over and try to get on the Growling Sidewinder server, which is like Air Quake, the old Quake
Nice.
server where everyone piles in and just kills everyone else. It's 2 teams, and there's really no point other than blasting each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it has this sort of overview mission, but not like Hogget, where Hogget's PVE, so. And it's got goals and things you can do. But for Growling Sidewinder, at least that one server, it's just, 2 sides blasting each other out of the sky.
Which can be fun at times.
It is. So we went in as a 2-ship. The first time we go in there, we're Eagles. We get up high and fast, and we're doing our thing. And I had kind of forgotten this, but the way that server basically works is there will be some people high, but they never really get close. And everyone's sort of trolling around in the mountains. Like everyone's at like 1,000 feet down AGL above the mountains, and if they see you up there,
terrain hugging.
Yeah, and they'll pop up. And the problem is the cons are so low that you almost can't help but con. So all they have to do is look up and see you. So we got wiped out the first time. All right, fine. So we reload, go back in. This time we come in low, and he got killed. I killed one, then I got killed. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. We didn't win much, but we did kill a few of them. Pretty funny.
But it's fun. I mean, something like that, and that is like a skill set that you can use from I guess from real life, but it is a skill set you can use to have fun in your gaming life, innit? You know what I mean? So it's fun. And, I don't know how many real tankers enjoy World of Tanks. I'm not sure. That would be an interesting question. But I guess if you're a pilot by trade, by design, by life, bringing those skills into a game. I mean, I'm not saying the game would take all the skills of being a pilot, but certainly some of the nuances and ideas and stuff like that.
I think DCS is way more of a flying simulator than World of Tanks is a tank simulator.
Yeah.
I think DCS tries to be that before it tries to be a game, I think. I think World of Tanks tries to be a game before it tries to be much of a simulator. Because you're actually looking at the actual controls, and it's modeled theoretically. I'm not going to say correctly, but there's an attempt at, let's put it this way, there's an attempt to have realistic modeling, whereas in World of Tanks, there's not a huge attempt at having realistic modeling, I don't think.
No, it's third-person view, isn't it? I know. Yeah. What is it, War Thunder? I can't remember which one it was. It may not have been War Thunder. There is a tank game where you can actually be inside the turret and looking out through the slits. I can't remember which one it's called. It's not Armored Patrol. It was.
Yeah, there is one where you can be in different positions. You can have one guy driving, another guy doing the thing. I think. I think. God, geez, what's his name? Played that for a bit. Goose. I think Goose played that for a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that is quite scary. I mean, obviously I've been in armored vehicles, but I've never been in combat in a tank. I've been in armored fighting vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles. But and so when I tried it, that's quite scary because your field of view is rubbish. You know,
Yeah.
and you get that like layer of fog of smoke across the battlefield. You can't see the other tanks, and they're hidden behind trees, and it's quite cool, really. But it's quite scary at the same time. You're like, oh, I got
Yeah.
shot by the tiger. Where the bloody hell's the tiger?
Diablo. so
Hell no.
Pal World is so yesterday. Pal World is so January 2024. And now it's I did see some. It's Helldivers 2, isn't it? Helldivers 2.
Yeah, that's what he says. I mean, I'm lost. I'm lost when he said Pal World. Never mind Helldivers.
Isn't Helldivers one of those extraction shooter kind of ideas where you go in and grab the loot and try to get out kind of thing?
Game's a lot of fun.
Is it? Good. I find those games, that's an interesting thing because they come and go so fast. At least from what it appears to me to be, is they'll have this new angle, or maybe it's not even generally a new angle, it's just a new look, or if even vibe maybe.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is often sometimes derivative, and maybe there's something new, but not much. But that's why, because they're so relatively similar in general gameplay, that they come and go a lot. And the new flashy one shows up, and it was, oh yeah, this is fun. And then people figure it out, and like, okay, well, I'm bored of this already.
Yeah.
No
you get-
loot,
I mean,
no loot.
games-
Okay.
Yeah, the games that I get bored with very quickly are things like Tarkov and things like that because it's so linear, really. It's just you go in, do whatever mission it is that you set up to do, and then you extract again, or you do whatever. The games with storylines or games with open world storylines interest me a great deal, but I sort of struggle with, and the Call of Duty. Never mind that my fingers don't twitch quick enough.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think a lot of people end up liking those games because they invest the time to get really good at them.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now they can do stuff that the general casual who just shows up can't do, and then that does have its own kind of fun, I would say. I did that with some of the older shooters, Battlefield 1942 back in the day, and a couple other, one of the Call of Duties. I got actually pretty good at those, and we're talking 15, 20 years ago, where I played it well beyond what I would say anything is new or particularly interesting about the game. It wasn't that interesting. What was interesting is I was really good at it, and and I could rack up insane kill amounts.
Yeah.
And if every once in a while if I ran up against somebody who was as good as I was or better, that was interesting because now I had to try to figure out if I could beat that person.
Then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had that word. Well, I had similar, not competitive, but similar with Metal Gear Solid. I loved Metal Gear Solid because I had it on the Xbox. I think it was the Xbox anyway. I definitely wasn't PC anyway. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. And there was a story to it. There was a background to it. There was, and although it was again quite a linear game, you went in, there were set missions you did, and all the rest of it. It's just I got very good at it. I kept Snake alive for a long time.
Right.
So it was always fun for me. But that died a death when I lost the Xbox. When it got me blue screen of death and it went down the stairs. It never came back from that.
It went down the stairs.
Yeah. I was so frustrated. I think I was playing World of Tanks. I'm sure it wasn't Metal Gear Solid, and I think I was on my 9th kill, something like that. So I was going for it, and it was console's slightly different, but anyway, it just went blue screen. I went, I think, what? Grabbed it and hoiked it down the stairs.
Gamer rage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old man gamer rage. OMGR.
Of course, the house general was in the house at the time, and I just heard from the back room, well, you won't be buying another one of those with my money. Put it that way. And then it all went quiet again.
So sending democracy to the bugs and robots one bullet at a time. I like it. Basically, just go on a planet to do missions with your friends, call in airstrikes, orbital bombardments, and friends get caught in them. That's the risk.
That's what we noted.
Good morning to everybody.
Gloriously.
Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Gator, Fast Red Horse, 8th Hustlers, Wayne with the sub. Thank you. Who else? O'Brutes in the house. Odd Dog, Jimmy, Kedge, Randall, Green, and Diablo, and anyone else I missed who has not typed but is hanging out. Good morning. This is Coffee Talk. It is the 11th of February. Next week, no Coffee Talk.
Because we're busy doing Valentine's Day.
Nope. Well, it could be. Could be a Valentine's Day hangover kind of idea, but no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going out to Gainesville.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, going out to Gainesville.
Cool.
We take the Brits out and go visit the daughter and hang out in Gville for a little while.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got going
How
on.
long does it take to drive out there? Is it a 5-6 hour drive?
No, it's about 4 hours, 3:45,
too
4
far.
hours, 4.5 if you stop and get some gas and a snack or something like that. 442. Good morning, man. Well, let's see. So as it has been slow going in the game, so has my 100 battle challenge. I am close on the XM66FBZ123. So that's the next one that'll finish. In Lozes, I have about 20 battles left in Lozes. So those will be the next 2 tanks. I did pick up the... Well, we can talk about... Yeah, I will stop on Bucky's Diablo 100%. That's the gas. That's the fuel stop from Panama City to Gville with our vehicle.
Right.
Fill up in Panama City,
food.
stop at Bucky's.
Right. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny, just as a tangent, isn't it funny that in the States, people get to know the good stops? Or the popular stops?
Actually, I'm wrong, though. Sorry, Pilgrim. It's budget Bucky's. It's Busy Bee, which is like a Bucky's ripoff, but similar. It's a Busy Bee, not a Bucky's. Anyway, go ahead.
But it is the stop that everybody would stop at if they did that journey.
It's very busy. So I don't know if you've seen these things, Pilgrim, or heard of them, but in the States we have a couple companies that have these mega gas stations on the interstates.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
they're massive. And so they're like almost a supermarket. They're like not quite a supermarket, but they're way bigger than a convenience store. Was what we call a convenience store. And but they also have a gift shop, and they generally have a restaurant or two, and fast food typically. And then they're ridiculous. They're hard to describe. They're just like a massive general store attached to a gas station that would probably have 50 pumps.
Wow.
And of course, the whole they'll have the whole setup for the truckers too, for the long haul. So they'll have all the diesel stuff. They'll have all the lot of parking for them. They'll have showers and stuff for the drivers. All that stuff's going. And one of the big draws for them is they always advertise that they have very clean bathrooms, and they do. They have very big, nice, clean, well-maintained baths. So you're not, going to some small little rinky-dink, horrible bathroom. So it's a huge draw. Yeah, Gator says 100 pumps. Yeah, I would buy it. I guess with the truck stuff in the back, there probably is 100 in a lot of them.
Wow.
Bucky's is a way of life. We have a Busy Bee in town, which is odd. We have one down on the beach, which I've never seen one in a town, but it's down in Panama City Beach, so it's catering.
I guess they know their
A lot of travelers coming in. Yeah, there's a lot of travelers, but it's not on an interstate. I've never seen one that wasn't on an interstate, but it's in the middle of town, down where, pretty close to where you would come into town from out of town. So,
and these places are known. I mean, we're on a smaller scale, if you like, and you know this from the United Kingdom. If you travelled, for example, from Liverpool to where I am, you would travel probably down the M6, the motorway M6, which is your freeways, M6, M5, something like that, M1 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows the Knutsford services, everybody knows Cambridge services, and so on and so on. So they're like, even though there are other stops in between, if you set off on a set journey, there are those stops that everybody stop at.
Yeah.
And they're massive compared to ours, not as big as yours, but
yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
What's
that?
They do restaurants, they do toilets, they do all that sort of.
Is it Road Chef?
Road Chef, that's one of them.
Yeah, Road Chef.
Road Chef, which do English breakfast, greasy sausages on a slimy plate.
Been there.
Yes, all healthy.
Yeah, so we'll be back the next week. So no coffee talk.
No coffee talk next week. Okay.
Next week will be back the week after. I am doing some DCS. Haven't done any video stuff on that. Still trying to figure out how I want to do some of that. That's been pretty cool. Lots of Mountain Blade. So I now my Eagle Clan, the misnamed
Yes. Yes.
hero, now has
Eagle clan of the clan.
he's accrued 1 million gold pieces.
That's crazy. What are you going to spend it on?
I don't know.
Get a Ferrari. I don't know.
I actually, so I went the whole time. Here's what I did for those of you who have done Mountain Blade Bannerlord. For a while, I was running around. Usually, what I do with Bannerlord is I get the companions. They're the better. You can get troops and they will upgrade, but you also have companions that have little backstories and they actually level up like you do, and you can pick their skills and things like that, which is kind of fun. So it's sort of you have a party of people that you can then mold the different companions. I did that for a while, but then I said, you know what? I'm going to start sending all these guys out on caravans. So every companion I have 7 now. They're all caravan guys. So I've sent them off, and they're all making money.
So they're all merchants working for you.
They're all, yeah. They're
right.
oh, what is it? What would you call it if you? What's it called when you?
Franchise.
They're franchise. You're franchisees.
Yeah.
That's right. They're my
Yeah,
franchisees.
you're making $1 million here, dude.
And then I bought all of the workshops that I could, which I think
Right.
now
somebody
is
advised you about that, didn't they?
5 or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did the workshops. They're not amazing, but they're working out. They're okay. But I looked up, what type of workshop per city you should put in, and I put the best one in. And sometimes they're not making anything, but generally, every day when the coins come in, I'm in a positive. Anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 a day is rolling in.
Wow.
And then I've been running around being a merchant myself, buying stuff from cities and towns, and just going around the map. I don't know how many circuits I've made. And then picking up the missions that are worth the shit, because not all of them are. The ones I found that are the best, I don't know if anybody in chat knows better ones, but there's a couple in particular. One is a merchant is escorting a merchant caravan.
Right.
And the good news with that is you just follow them to 5 different cities or places. I think that generally it's cities and not the little towns. And it basically brings bad guys to you to beat up, because they go after the caravan, then you can grab them, then you get to loot the bad guys. And it's not an amazing army of stuff, but it's extra stuff. So you get about 4 or 5 of those, and the guy pays you to do it, and I can do my own. Caravan from point to point. So I'll buy and sell as I go.
Yeah.
So that's very lucrative. The second one that's good is a caravan ambush, where you'll agree and he'll send a caravan out, and then it'll sit somewhere nearby, and you kind of sit next to it and you just wait for a while, and then it brings a fairly large group of bad guys in, bandits to beat up on. Those are the 2 best ones. Clearing a camp, saving a noble at the camp, and bringing people to knock them out, then sell for labor. All right. I did that a couple times back. I played Diablo. I ran around with a mace so that you could knock people out instead of killing them. It has a better chance of knocking than you can capture them. I didn't bother with that this time. That's not
It sounds a little bit violent.
It is. I'm not, I'm not running a 7-Eleven here,
No.
No.
So you're a bit of a nasty person, really.
Oh,
game.
well, see, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
There are lots of ways to play the game. That's true. And I switch gears, which is what I was getting to. So, I don't like the camp things, Diablo, because it takes so long to walk through them. It drives me crazy walking through the stupid camps. But I guess that probably helps your athletic skill. So
walking, it does. Mm-hmm.
It does, because you can't ride. You don't get your horse. You go to these bandit camps, and for some reason there's no horses. So then you're running. You fight like 3 guys, and you're running, fight 2 or 3 guys. Painful. So anyway, I got bored with that a little bit. I have 1 million gold now. I'm a rich person.
Right. In the context of the game, is that rich, or is it like anybody could be a 1 million gold piece holder?
I think I have enough gold to buy most of the goods from every city at this point.
All right, that's cool. Guido Walmart.
You get 150 of the Eastern Horse Cav Noble dude and go conquer the world. Yeah. Are those the best ones? I thought the Empire cavalry guys were the best. I have to look into that. I don't think I have any of those dudes. I am pure cavalry though. I got rid of most of my walking, and then I had a huge herd. I was really slow, so you get too many horses and stuff and mules and stuff. It slows you down because there's too many. So I paired that off, so I'm fast again. And I did join with. Well, first thing I did is I got married.
Yeah. To a noble lady.
Well, I think so, but it felt very shady because when I talked to the noble guy and said, "Hey, I want to marry into your family" or whatever, however it went down, then there's a little screen, like a barter screen. Yeah, you have to pay gold.
Oh, there's a bit of money involved there.
I'm like, I guess I wasn't known enough for him to pay me or whatever, send a dowry.
You weren't famous enough for him to go, wow, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so, and then what I didn't understand, another thing you learn, as you learn games, as you get into them, you start to check forums and look at rules and figure out, nuances. You get to basics, and then you have another question, then you're down another rabbit hole. I didn't realize this with this game, is it has a dynasty system.
Oh, really?
So you can have kids,
okay.
and they'll grow up, and I assume they'll join your crew because the wife joined the crew. I just put her on a horse, gave her some armor. She actually came with better armor than I had.
But you couldn't wear it because it was the wrong shape.
Yeah, gave her a sword and a shield, and she's out there whacking baddies with me, so that's perfect.
Cool.
And apparently it doesn't matter. She doesn't care if she's pregnant when she does it, because that happens. So now,
Joan of Arc? Joan of Arc is your wife.
So now I have three kids. All right, oh Brute, see you, man.
Wow, you got 3 little sprogs? No.
I do. One just turned 2, and I guess as they age up, you get to pick skills and traits and things, which
cool.
makes me believe that.
You
Yeah,
have the Guido clan dynasty.
that's right. At some age, I'm assuming they join you as a companion, and then you can send them off to do whatever you want to do.
Imagine having to avenge the death of your second son or something. That would be a cool.
Well, see, nobles rarely die.
Oh, don't they? Oh, wow, they are.
Yeah, you can. Well, it's kind of grim. You can execute them when you capture them.
You can execute.
Yeah.
Off with his head.
Yeah.
Off with her head.
But they're worth more for ransom.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
They're
hold
not
on to them.
medieval.
You hold on to them, and you hope they don't escape because they do have a chance to escape.
Right.
And then you can ransom them quickly for a decent amount of coin, or you can hold on to them for a while, and then the family will eventually contact you, and that's usually worth more. But they may also escape, and then they're worth 0 at that point.
This is becoming far more involved than it should be.
It is.
To be honest.
It is, and I'm not even scratching really the surface of the whole thing. Wow. So then, I don't know why I was visiting. There was another leader in one of the countries. I don't remember which one. See, I joined this country as a mercenary. I don't even know who they are. I just know their color.
Yeah.
I think they're orange.
Random
I think they're orange.
Orange country.
They're
Yeah.
the orange guys in the middle of the map. And he said he wanted to talk about something, and then there's a little exclamation point, right? That means he has a mission for you.
All right.
So I'm like, all right, what's your mission? He goes, I only talk to people who are rich and known.
Of course. Yeah.
Then why do you have an exclamation point and want to talk to me about a mission, dude? But there was another little thing that said, hey, I wish to join you. And I'm like, well, let's see what goes on here. So I want to join you. The choices were, promise your sword to him or swear your sword to him or whatever. Or
yeah.
I will be a mercenary and I will help you as long as you pay me. I'm like, that is right up Eagle.
That's money.
That is right up Eagle Clan's alley right there.
Absolutely.
Right up Eagle Clan's alley. Because
absolutely. But talk about mercenary.
Yeah.
Mercenary through and through.
Because if you're not going to run around doing all the trade stuff, the best way to make money is to beat up the other lords who have good equipment and lots of guys. So now that I'm a mercenary and they happen to be at war with a smaller neighboring empire, now I can roll through there and gank whatever bad guys I want at will. Yeah.
It might be birds in my. I got my window open and my back room here opens out to the whole of Cambridgeshire countryside. So it's probably the birds that you hear are the English birds.
So anyway, there you go, Mountain Blade. That's what we're up to. We're now a mercenary merchant lord ish thing.
You've just sold your soul, haven't you? Really?
I'm a merc.
Just to
I'm
get
not.
that million
I didn't
gold?
sell my soul. I'm a mercenary. I do what I want when I want.
I know, but yeah, you know.
I think what I'm going to try to do at some point is somehow get a hold of a city independently. I
The
think
whole
that
city.
yeah. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm pretty sure that if you help them take a city as a mercenary, they won't give it to you. If you join their empire, if you get a high enough renown and whatnot, at some point the leader may start giving you towns and cities and fiefs and stuff like that.
So you become like the overlord of that city.
Yeah, you're one of his. Yeah.
Managing it for the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll vote you as the leader if you do well enough, which is what a lot of people do.
So how do you become the boss man then? Or is that an NPC?
Well, I don't think you can as a mercenary. I think you would have to then go back to independent. So you'd have to leave that guy's service and then grab one yourself, which isn't easy.
All right.
Yeah. Not easy. So I'll see. We'll see. I think I have. The goal is to get 2 million in this fashion.
Okay.
Problem is that they will. I'll say randomly, but at some point there will probably be peace between these two empires. It kind of change. It always changes. So if the leader of this empire that I'm the mercenary for declares peace with this other one, and there's no one to go after in his service, then I might have to leave. The other thing you have to be careful with is now that I've done that, my caravans are now going to be jumped by his guys potentially. So I got to keep an eye on that. And then I think any workshops you might have in their cities, I think they grab them or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think. Can I give you a little word of caution here?
What's that?
Can I just say, look what happened to the head of Wagner? Do you know what I mean?
Do not get into an airplane and
Yes. Well,
Provided-
you don't have aeroplanes on there, but you might have a horse that's a bit dodgy. You know what I mean?
oh man, yep, you got to be careful. All right, what else, guys? I think that's it for challenges. Let's see, 100 battle challenge, some DCS, yada yada. No real home improvement this week, so I guess we're on to missions and specials, my friends.
So you're saying the mailbox is now 100%?
It's not. It's like every project I have. There's
It's a Guido project.
there's 10% unfinished.
Okay. No! You caught me out.
I need to finish the brickwork at the bottom of it.
Ah,
I got to straighten that out.
I'm painting.
See, I still have to finish the fireplace. I haven't put the finishing
I was gonna
touches
ask
on
about
it.
that.
No,
Is
that's
that a project that's never stopped?
that's still open for business. I still have to finish the mailbox. I haven't quite finished that. I
Rear
still
windows?
the what?
The window frames. You had problems with your window frames.
That's good. I do need to repaint them this year. I got to throw some paint on them, but those are done actually.
Cool.
I still haven't finished all my porch stuff. Yeah, my new project now is I think I have to move some of my sprinkler system out of the way so I can put a new shed in the back.
Yes, you did mention about the
Yeah.
shed in the back.
Yeah.
Are you going to have power running to the shed?
No, only through a
Extension.
extension cord. Although
Oh, yeah.
it's interesting you say that. I could probably run it from a box that is on a post right near there. But the problem is that shed is going to be just storage for the wife's
Okay, so it's
Christmas crap.
Right. Okay,
I really
so you
need the
don't
power
need-
back to the crappy shed that has all my tools and shit in it.
Got you. All right. Because it's always handy to have power in a
Oh,
shed
yeah.
that's a working shed.
100%.
If you've got a working shed,
Yeah.
it's handy to have power.
Yeah. Yep. More the better. More the better.
Yeah.
All right. So missions and specials, guys. What do we got going on? So is Cliffy in here? I don't think Cliffy's in here. I went onto the forum. We'll talk about that later. Because we won't
The
be able to
forum
go.
is no longer, is it not?
It is for now. It is for now.
All right.
And so you haven't because you haven't played. Everybody in chat, have you been doing the lunar special missions and stuff? I asked that because there was quite the crazy information on this thing. So if you go into your missions, guys, what I'm talking about, where's the lunar crap? Here we go. All right, these are the missions. You get the coins. There were daily missions. I haven't really done them. I'm way behind. So the way you spend the coins, in case you don't know, is you go to the depot and you go here and then you've got Lunar Shop. Now,
Yeah.
there's a crew member for 450, Dragon Style for 350. There's stuff you can buy. Okay, everyone's familiar with that. There's also listed the ability to get an IS-2M, which I have not seen. Now, has anybody been able to unlock the IS-2M? Because if you go to Lunar Shop, I don't see it. You can't see it, but there's an open spot down here. Okay, so if you get enough coins, it will unlock. And how many coins is it? It's a group effort. What do you mean a group effort? Okay, see, this is insane. This is why I'm asking the question.
So, what, you have to be in a platoon or something? Is this what
No,
you're
I
saying?
don't know. Okay. Earn points missions, including IS-2M, a free tier 7, and a bunch of... Not working as intended already has it. Coins needed unknown. Like there's a level or something that everyone has to reach as a group. Oh, okay. Except that it's not indicated, or is that actually on the leaderboard thing telling us that? Do things only show up once you reach them? Yeah, it's the Russian Heavy, IS-2M.
Yeah, but I mean, surely people have got. I mean, I've got that. You've got that, Guido, haven't you?
Yeah, this is why I'm bringing it up, man.
I mean, everybody's got it, surely.
Okay, so it's this article here, Lunar New Year. It started Thursday or whatever, so this is the last day. Yeah, me too, so slow. This is what I'm talking about. It's hard to keep track of. But if you read the article, it doesn't really help you very much. The missions just showed up, so there was nothing you had to do for that. And they were daily missions, but there was a weird wrinkle where you went into the store, fellas. I don't know if you know this. And you click on the star, best, and then you scroll down, and there were... I've already clicked on mine, but right here there was a free. It said free. And it looked like maybe it was just for this camo. But if you hovered over, you would see that it said, there's one dragon challenge. That was a mission. So it was an extra...
Free. Dragon challenge and 9 camouflage elements.
Right, so you did get free 9 Wu Zing element wood for free, but you also got an extra mission to get some more coins. And I think there was one of those a day. But
Well, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was in the article over here, but it's very vague.
Yeah.
But that's what you've got to do. And then you can also chuck 250 gold at them and get another dragon challenge.
But the challenge is just get 1,280 damage. That's it.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. They're pretty easy.
Easy challenges, yeah.
And what everyone's saying in chat is then you go back here, and I think this is the one I got right here, the top 3, I believe, was the extra one added on. And because I don't really care about gold, let's just do this anyway. Let's see if we add a 4th one on, and I'm pretty sure we will. We'll just go ahead and do this. Oh, look at it. You can grab as many as you want. Didn't know that. Interesting.
Because you're paying for it, that's why.
Yeah. So we'll purchase 1 for giggles. Affirmative. Yep, looks like something showed up. There we go. So now we have another mission. Attempt the Dragon Challenge battle mission. Attempt?
Yeah. Track your dragon challenges. What does that mean?
I have to finish the free missions first. Okay. That's a lot of damage. 58,000? Yeesh. Anyway, you're getting some of it from chat. Good. Thanks, guys. Here's kind of what it looks like. If you haven't figured this out yet, you're probably too far behind to do a whole bunch with it.
Yeah.
Monday the 12th, yes, but I believe that's tomorrow early, right? It's always early.
Yeah.
So honest, today and tonight are really your last days.
Yes,
Bar
it was.
across
There
the
was-
top with group progress. At the top. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, okay. I thought that was just a line that was telling us what stage we were on. I didn't realize that was actually a progress bar. 2300, so it is all day the 12th. Interesting. Where does it say that? Scroll down a bit. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 12th at 2300 UTC. There you go. 2300 UTC would be what? 1800? 1700 Central?
What is it? 6 hours. 5 hours difference.
Yeah, six or five, wherever we are right now.
Yeah.
There's a thing that has all the stages. Click on stage 5. Does that mean? So what does that mean? I don't understand what that. This makes no. This is so needlessly
Just-
complex.
Yes, isn't it just? It's just wargaming all over, isn't it?
So is it opening stuff up in the store? Is that what it's saying? Click on stage 5. All right, see you, so slow. He tried to help us. Anyway, there you go. You should be seeing the missions here. You can go into the store. You can buy, get your daily mission. You can buy them. The way you spend your coins is you come over here and you go to the lunar shop and you drop coins. One thing that is unknown to me is the ISM going to be for coins. Meaning,
If it is, it's going to be so many coins.
well, yeah, but if you're buying stuff already and using your coins,
Yeah.
and then it unlocks,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh, by the way, it's 300 coins, and you haven't got it because you bought 10 styles. Thank you.
Yep. So beware. Be careful. Your list doesn't show the crew member. Huh. Yeah, 500 to 1,000. I didn't do any math. Has anyone done the math on how many coins are possible? Here's a guy that has 3,445. He should have enough. I think he has enough, Pilgrim.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't.
He has twice as many as the 10th place guy does.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh, man.
I have 26. Probably not going to make it. All
I
right,
don't
so
think I've even got that. I haven't played, have I? So
they gave you one free one, so you actually have one free
I've got
one.
one.
You have one.
Yes, I've got one.
Do you know
I've
why?
also got
Do you know why you have one?
no, just for logging in today.
Because the way they've mech'd it, the only way these things show up is if you have one of the thing. Otherwise, it doesn't show up. So
Doesn't
unless
show
they
up.
give you a free one, it won't show
You'll
up
never
in your.
see it.
You'll never see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Which
I mean,
probably.
the biggest thing I've got floating around my UI, is the lunar boxes. They are pushing them so hard. Anyway, we'll come
Yeah.
to that, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. All right, what else we got? We got the rest of the missions. Not much. We still have Snatch going on. Snatch the Snatch. Lunar New Year. And that's pretty much it. The WZ-111 is top of the tree, as is the XM551 Sheridan. I believe that's about it for missions and specials. So well, we'll save it for subjects du jour because we're moving on anyway. But there's other, obviously the Lunar New Year boxes things is a special, I guess. So, anything else for missions and specials there, Pilgrim?
No, I mean, there's no point really for me to say much because I'm a week behind anyway. So this morning
You got a lot of catching up to do today.
Yeah, I've got a lot. This morning I did the updates kicked in this morning, so it tells you how much I haven't played this week. So I got the updates.
You better inform the House General that you're going to be World of Tanking for the next 8 hours to finish your.
Yeah,
because you need. There's not even any data on that on whether the IS-2M will be for credits or gold.
No, I can't. Yeah, having gone through it all, and again, I would not personally invest that much time in trying to find out, to be honest, because I don't care. I really don't care.
All right, it's slightly early, but we are going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll get into subjects du jour, because we got to talk about the forums, the boxes,
There's a lot.
Common Test 1.24, all that good stuff. 5 minutes, guys.
And before you go,
yeah,
I actually met a member of the Wargaming management team that used to work out of Minsk, and I'll give you the story.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, taking a break. Go recharge your coffee.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido.
All right, we're back. You know, I completely forgot something very important that we have to talk about before we get into the rest of the subjects du jour. Do you know what today is, Pilgrim?
Today is the 11th of February, 2024. No, I don't. It's a Sunday. I don't know.
It is a Sunday, but what is happening today? It's incredibly important to the world.
It's a coffee talk, and it is an anniversary of the first time we did it together.
No.
It's not that important then. So what is it then?
The premier sporting event in the entire world happens today. The most important sporting event in the world, known as, say it, the
Super Bowl. The Yanks. You love your sports, don't you?
The premier sport, the biggest game day of all is today, and Taylor Swift will be there.
Well, that would be worth watching if it was Taylor Swift's going to be there. I don't know about the rest of the nonsense that goes on with the two teams of 150 players each. I've never figured that one out at all.
The big game.
So who's in the final then? Who are the two teams?
San Francisco 49ers and
Got ya.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, so who would you be cheering for if you were there?
I am a 49er today. How about you guys?
They are.
Only vaguely, Randall. Only vaguely.
Oh dear, real football.
49ers. Come on. Christian McCaffrey and Brock
So
Purdy.
what brings you to support the 49ers? Just location?
I'm tired of the Chiefs.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah,
always win everything.
they're very good. They're very good. Mahomes is a fantastic quarterback. I think Purdy's story. So I don't know if you know anything about it, but Brock Purdy, the quarterback of the 49ers, this is his second year. He was drafted in the very last position of the draft.
Okay.
And the nickname for that position is called Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh, is it?
So they sort of do kind of a little thing with it, you know? And honestly, it's because people drafted that low to include the last guy rarely ever do anything.
Right.
In fact, I don't know if I'm wondering, anybody know if a Mr. Irrelevance ever played an NFL game? I suppose it's possible, but they certainly do not and have not become a starter in the NFL, nor have they taken their team to their conference championship and now to a Super Bowl ever. So it's a great story. Like
It is a great story, but all the time in my head, I do apologise, is O'Brute's comment. So it's sort of
So-
like negated any sort of fascination for American football in my head whatsoever.
It is the best sport in the world.
Well,
Soccer is a shadow. A shadow. Soccer is a afterthought compared to football.
well, now let's go down this rabbit hole then, shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we give you, apart from the fact it was the right, okay, shall we go down this rabbit hole? The fact that a sport involving a ball was done by the Macaran Indians back over in Brazil or somewhere. But they used the heads of their enemies as a football. Okay, so that was the first
Yeah.
iteration of that type of sport. But the first civilized sport involving a pig's bladder blown up with air of any sort was in Rugby University in England, and that's where rugby football came from, which was way back when, way before your nation was even invented. Put it that way. So
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm trying to understand the relevance of how we took that primitive, vaguely interesting sport and turned it into the juggernaut that the NFL is. I mean, if that's the story, then I understand where you're coming from. Do you know soccer is the seventh most popular sport in our country, right after women's gymnastics?
Yes, because can I tell you the real reason why that is the case? Because well, two reasons. Because you never invented it, and secondly, you're no good at it. You just decided to ignore it and call it a woman's game, which is fine, absolutely fine.
So let's think about this for a minute. The world is very lucky that the U.S. does not pay much attention. We don't pay much attention to soccer because it wouldn't even be close. It would not even be close. We would have the top 20 teams in the world if we didn't have all the other sports. That is an absolute guarantee.
So because you've diversified so much in all the other sports that you consider to be sporting for men
Yeah.
or women,
Yeah.
that the focus in soccer, association football, is that
Low.
is that if you decided to focus on association football, you would have the top 20 teams in the world. Is that right?
If soccer, baseball, Sorry, if football, baseball, and basketball went away tomorrow, and all we were left with was soccer, you would never see another championship game in your lifetime.
But you would play it within the borders of the United States and call it a World Series.
Yes, and we'd call it we'd call it the Super Soccer Bowl.
Yeah, yeah. But it would never go outside. It would never leave the shores of the eastern coast of
There would be no reason to, because everyone else's version would be so boring.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What's the world come?
We're getting better at it though, and one of the reasons I say that, I actually have a very small factoid to go with that, because our women do prioritize soccer. That is the top level of sport, more or less, that women can do, other than maybe the WNBA to some extent. There's some basketball professional stuff, but in terms of very organized top level sport, and our women kick butt.
Yeah, they're good. You've got a good women's team, absolutely.
So
The fact they lost 15-0 to the men's team is a different matter, isn't it?
yeah, well, let's not go there, because that happens every time. They didn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't to the men's team.
Yeah.
It was to a U14 team or some such thing. Oh, you're talking about the retired men's team. You're talking about all the retirees. Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was, yes.
Yeah.
Never mind. I mean,
Yeah.
you do get all our cast-offs, I must admit. You know, David Beckham, he went over there and played.
Oh yeah, when they retire, they come over and play in the third-rate
For the money. They
system.
come for the money.
Yeah, they come over to the third-rate system we have over here, and then they sit on the bench and don't play,
Exactly, yeah, because they're not good enough.
or they're old and hurt.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I'm gonna watch your Super Bowl. It'll be on.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I always hope it's a good game, and I really do hope that the 49ers can. The problem is for them is Mahomes he just figures out ways to win, man.
Yeah.
So they got that's a tough row to hoe right there. Although, didn't they beat them once this year?
Did they? Oh, right, okay.
I might be thinking it's cross conference, so I don't know if they actually played. I can't remember, but anywho, that's happening today, and that means that I'm cooking most of the day, getting stuff ready, because we're having the get together over here.
You got the smoker going. Have you got the weather for it?
No, I think we're not gonna do any grilling. We're gonna do chili. Wife's gonna make her chili.
Nice.
I'm gonna do poppers. We're gonna do bacon wrapped dates. Some other thing the friends of ours make that you guys
Sounds
I'm sure
nice. Sounds
had
nice.
this. You got the buffalo chicken cheese thing that you dip the chips into.
Man, oh man. I'm having a bowl of soup for my Sunday dinner. What's
7-layer dip. Wings. Someone is bringing
Yeah.
wangs. We got someone bringing wangs. Yep.
that? Hey, up, sold out.
Oh, we'll have the queso. We'll have the chips and salsa. We'll have the whole 9 yards, guys.
Wow. I'm coming over.
You should.
Just hold it for 6 hours. I'm coming over.
But look, just be happy that Taylor Swift made it from Japan in to watch the game.
Cool. Yes, I'll watch it just to see Taylor Smith. How about that? Hey, I don't know who's playing. I'll support whoever Taylor Smith supports. How about that?
Okay. Then you're on the wrong side then, because she supports the Chiefs.
Oh, does she? Okay. Well, we'll have that conversation the weekend after next when you come back.
All right.
We'll have the conversation about who won the game and how well they did. The Chiefs or the 49ers. Well, we'll work this one out. Oh, in fact, yes, sod I'll be a Chief fan. I'll get the rig. I'll get all the kit, and we'll sit there 2 weeks' time from now.
Ooh, careful! You could get canceled.
Oh, really? Because I'm not indigenous.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're wearing that, if you're going full, Chief,
Kaiser Chief.
be careful with that. I mean, I'm sure you can just wear the shirt and be fine.
All right. Okay.
Because over here we have to complain about everything and cry about everything. All right, that's enough of that crap.
Enough of that.
What else we got going on? Forums.
Yeah. Using the means that we're now currently using. Strange thing is, forums. Let's talk about forums.
Yeah. Well, they're going away.
Yep.
Going away. I did a Coffee Talk
Thanks,
supplemental, and we talked a lot about that I
Yes.
talked a lot about that on the
I saw that, yes.
supplemental. I don't think I've changed my opinion of it very much.
No.
I get it. I know why they're doing it. and it's another sign of the downward trend, as every game does. It is an old forum. I really wish they would have put a more modern forum together and let people use it. I still like forums. I think they're great ways to. I think Discord's a horrible forum substitute.
Yeah.
I like Discord. It's very useful. There's a lot of good stuff you can do, but in terms of having coherent discussions, not people are laughing right now. Coherent discussions on the forum, but you know what I'm talking about, where you can go to the thread and you can follow, even if the logic is tortured, you can at least follow the order. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Of what is going on right there.
Yeah. And I think to be honest, I think it's the attractive part of having a forum is it feels a little bit more personal than Discord. Discord to me feels very disjointed. It feels at arm's length sort of thing, with the forum, it was like you almost, it was like having a chat with your mate across the street, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's got his opinion on that, and you've got your opinion, and you're leaning over the gate post, and you've got a beer in your hand, and you're
kind of, yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas Discord feels very, very sort of at arm's length. It feels a bit disjointed. That's just me.
I think that a lot of guys are chatting about stuff in the chat right now. I think the moderation in all these things is always an issue, and no one's ever going to be happy. And someone's going to be mad about something, and somebody else is going to be mad about another. Ideally, everybody tries to keep it on an even keel as much as possible, and just discuss on that forum the things that the forum is for. I don't like the moderation where people get really militant about off topic. A forum I think should be a bit of a flow of consciousness. As long as it was about the game. If it gets off topic in terms of let's go to politics and culture wars and all this other stuff, there are forums for that. Go knock yourself out. Not required on a tanks forum. So I am sympathetic to that to some extent. But I disliked it when people would go, that's off topic, even though you went slightly off, but you're still talking about the game, right?
Yeah.
And then they hit you for that. But that's kind of
then all you do is introduce an off-topic channel and let people
Yeah.
and rave all they want on that.
Well, and if you want to do culture wars and talk about politics, then go to Reddit and beat your head into the ground with the cancerous, stuff that goes on there.
Bury it deep.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. There's plenty of people there who will argue with you till eternity, to the end of eternity, on Reddit about stuff like that. But I don't think that's not the reason the forum's going away necessarily. Moderation's always a challenge, no matter what you do. Some people just want to watch the world and the forum burn, so they just say stuff. Whether they believe it or not doesn't really matter. It's meant to be incendiary and light everything on fire and have people lose their mind and all that stuff. But again, that's not why the forum's necessarily going away. Maybe tangentially a little bit, because the moderating it costs money. Either you're paying someone to do it, or you're managing volunteers. Even if you have volunteers do it, you still have to have an employee kind of overseeing all that stuff. Sure, and it just isn't easy. It really isn't. I moderate my channel. I'm the only one who does it on YouTube. But generally, the community is awesome, and I don't have many issues, if ever, with it.
Yeah.
And I've only had to ever delete a couple comments along the way. But when you talk about a game this big, it gets real crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But again, I've said it 3 times already. I don't think that's why they're getting rid of it necessarily. It's just they don't want to pay the money for it anymore.
I think it's probably it's a non-profit part of the organisation. It's one of those parts of the. I always say things like admin, background staff, and HR are non-profit making parts of any organisation, and I think the forum is not a profit-making part of the company. So it's quite easy to remove that from the company because it's costing money to produce that. So it's to manage it.
So that's really interesting you say that, and on the surface I agree with that. But there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are support aspects of companies that, while you can't put a direct dollar amount on what it brings into the company, it does support and help the company bring in money, right? So
I understand that.
yeah. So I want to play World of
On a
Tanks.
second level, on a different.
I want to play World of Tanks, and I don't know anything about it. Well, where do I get info?
Yeah.
Well, forums. I go to the forums. Forums. Hey, I need to look up this. Search the forums. Find some information on how. Oh, cool. Oh, look. There's a tank review on a tank. I might want to. Oh, I'll go buy that tank. That kind of stuff, right? Advertising and whatever. But they've decided that the cost is no longer worth whatever extra bonuses, I suppose you might say, are coming to the company from it. But I think wargaming.
It's internal, Guido. It's internal, isn't it? Whereas Discord is already a media facility that is external of the company, so they can pay their whatever it costs to run their server on Discord, but it'll be cheaper than running their own internal
Probably
system.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the costs are. Some of you guys may have a better idea of the relative costs for running a big forum like that, or just going off of Discord. But again, Discord just doesn't work like a forum. It's not nearly as useful for somebody who wants to get information.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty close on that, Todd.
Yeah.
They care enough about the players to try to get more money, I guess. But it's all part of the reorg too. You know, I've not been pleased with the reorg, moving everything back over to the European office. We were insulated when we had an NA office, and as much as you may or may not have liked the way they did it, they did insulate us from a lot of the stupid that happens over there. Yeah. It's not that the stupid didn't still get here. It's just that it was blunted, I guess, or perhaps muted, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
But now that we don't really have an NA office, and there's only a couple NA folks left, really, on the side of the player customer service side, it's just one decision after another like this.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
There is no pressure from NA player base organisation, for want of a better way of putting it, but there is very little pressure that can be applied because we are not big enough to make an impact on the rest of Wargaming. So there's no pressure to be applied, you know, and there's nobody fighting our corner anymore because they don't have an NA office. It all sits, you know, with the integrated.
Oh, it's, you know, and all that makes perfect logical sense. Yeah. It's a rational decision.
Yeah.
I think that the company disregards some of the secondary and tertiary effects of things a little too much. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're smarter than I am. I just look at it and go, I think you're losing. I think they have squandered over the years a lot of goodwill in many ways. I don't know.
The difficult thing is that for me personally is that we have, and particularly on, I would suggest on the EU and the NA servers, a group of players that have played this game from its inception. You know, people have been around 9, 10, 11, 12 years and have stayed loyal to the game and keep playing it and still invest into it. People still pay money into it. And over the years, if you sit down and work out how much you paid into the game and so on, I mean, it's not worth thinking about, actually. It's scary when you stop. But those people are almost voiceless when it comes to sensible discussions about where wargaming can you know, move the company forward.
Yeah.
And it's not us. We're not the company experts. We don't know how it all operates in the background. But we're the player base. We're the player base that created this game for them. They made the game, but the creation and the ongoing sustainability of this game is down to the people who have been playing it day in, day out for years and years and years, and we've got an intimate knowledge of how the game plays out.
Yeah.
Never mind the business behind it. That's not our forte. The business behind it is down to the business people, the business model, and everything. But the way the game is played and how it is enjoyed and why it is so, it has such longevity, is down to the player base that's been at it for 12 years.
Yeah, it's a good point.
There's no voice for us.
Yeah, very little. Very little. I mean, when you use absolutes, I know what you're saying, and I'm not going against it at all. I'm just saying one of the things about, you know, and this is always a counter argument that you get. You know, you say something like, we have no voice, and then the counter argument is, no, but this one time you do have a voice. Okay, noted. very little voice, right? Not enough to even move the needle, to be quite honest. I never felt like in the 5 or 6 years that I was a CC that I was ever once listened to be quite honest. Not really. Not that I expected my personal opinion, but even when CCs had a more or less collective opinion, almost never, I don't remember a single time where that was actually taken into account. Sometimes pieces of it looked like maybe it was listened to on occasion, but almost never. And the single-minded determination to crank out tanks, sell premium tanks, watt plus, more, money this, monetize that, monetize this, monetize that, with only secondary and tertiary thought to improve and fix gameplay. Several videos along the years saying they're going to do it. Almost every time the execution was, if we got half of what they said, we were lucky. Yeah. So it's opportunity cost. They can't do everything for everyone, but they do spend a lot of their effort in just cranking out new tanks. We'll look at it here in just a second. We got another 5 or 6 promotional, premium, whatever tanks in the super test. They just keep chucking tanks into super test, and they have a whole build a tank. There's 756 in the game. There's another probably 50 to 100 that they didn't implement
in the files. Yeah, there's probably more in the files. I think going back to your point about having a voice as a collective, and feeling that possibly you were ignored, I think at their cost, because there's no other sphere of life that has that collective experience, being able to put in input, or to offer up. If you've got, I don't know, let's pull a figure out there. If you've got 25,000 players who have done 12 years or thereabouts, how much experience of gameplay they got as a collective? I'm not saying they would all come together with a single issue, but how much experience? So as a company, to have that resource sat on your doorstep free of charge, you wouldn't have to do another survey in your life with how old are you as your final question. You could just go and ask your base.
Yeah.
You go and ask your player base, and they would know what makes the game good and what makes the game not good.
Well, see, I think they know. I think they have all that data. They've heard all of the things CCs and players and complaints and things that people have said and suggested. That's all out there. It's not that hard to see. But the priority has always been the monetization piece. And I've always been on the side of, I get it, that's important because you have to pay your employees and it takes money to develop. But I just feel like that, and I would say that, there's been people from the very beginning who have been mad at them because all they do is monetize. And they never give them any credit for when they're doing good stuff. I will say that that as the years have progressed, it's much more the monetization thing and much less the good of the game. So we've really reached a point where it's I don't know what just pull a number out of my ass, 80-20 at this point or something along those lines. They really.
Well, is that the natural way of business where
yes,
it becomes the
I think it is.
thing? Yeah,
I think it is.
I think business gets like that. If business starts off with great ideas being implemented, lots of energy going into those ideas to create a business of whatever type it is. And sometimes it gets very personal because people put their lives on the line to make the business happen. They get emotionally invested into it. And then at some point it becomes a way of making money as opposed to something a bit deeper,
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it's about money now.
Yeah, it always is. It's one of these things people like to make an analog, right? It's evil corporation or not evil corporation. Well, they can kind of be some of each. It can oscillate as well as you go along, but you can look at a trend and go, all right, this is probably trending in a direction that's not great. As companies get older and they've got a product that's been successful, sometimes they just start mailing it in.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Yeah.
Right? You just mail it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I guess it. Yeah, it gets like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a casual game, not competitive. Onslaught isn't popular because what players don't want to be reminded how bad they are. That's an interesting conversation, and I am I'm going to say I disagree, but here's why. And it all kind of has to do with your definition of competitive, and people will die on this hill, which kind of makes me laugh, but okay. It is a competitive game. It's a PvP game. You know, it's not PvE, but it's players playing players. Within the concept of a random queue of a bunch of random players getting into the game, it's competitive. You're playing against other humans. The die on the hill piece is, no, it needs to be organized. It needs to not have as much randomness. You know, it needs to have good players. If it's good players and there's not as much randomness and there's organization, then there's some magic formula that now creates it and makes it competitive in some people's mind, which I find silly.
Yeah.
Because you can have competitive people being competitive at different levels. You know, a high school football team or soccer team is competitive. They're not particularly good. They'd get crushed by the pro teams. It's still competitive. It's all a, you know, level of competitiveness. So I think it is a competitive game in that aspect, that the way it's built, it's PvP.
Yeah.
Is it,
Yeah,
can a bunch of randoms get together and beat the best players in the game? Hell no. You know, probably, maybe not even 1 out of 100, to be honest. If you there's probably a skill level at which, in this game, you can't do absolutes. So maybe 1 out of 100, I guess. But there's a skill level in this game where, with some organization, you know, random players probably almost never beat good players. But it's still competitive in terms of what I'm saying.
I think also it's personally competitive because you can compete against yourself as well.
There's that too. There's that. And I think a lot of people prioritize that in randoms, which is another part of the argument.
Yeah.
Because you don't have control over your teammates. There is no organization. There is no coherent plan between everybody. So you lean hard into what I personally do, my numbers, my stats, you know, that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's another one not working. That's another argument that's out there. The score. I don't find I know what you're saying. It didn't feel competitive. It didn't feel like a competition. But when you started it, it was. It's 15 players against 15 players. The actual score at the end may indicate that it wasn't a very close one, but it was competitive. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. I like to throw that out there sometimes because some of the higher level people get really irritated, and it's fun to watch their panties get into a bunch, you know, because there are some very good players in this game that they get really funny about the upper level competition and how that should be structured. But on the other hand, I understand that because that's what they want to do. That's the thing they want the game to do, is to help them get into those tier 10, you know, great player against great player kind of competitions. And it's fun to poke them sometimes because they get super irritated.
Because people get very. The trouble is with a game like this, and I guess, I mean, we've all been down that rabbit hole. You get invested in it.
Yeah.
If not emotionally, you get invested in it because you realise how much money you put into the game, and you think, you know, why. You know, I've spent all this money on gold and everything. Why aren't I better than everybody else? So, you know, and why isn't my opinion valid?
There's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
You know, you sit there and complain about no one listens to me. Well, maybe that's a good thing because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different opinion, obviously, much like other parts of their body, and they all stink. But that's not, you know, that's a throwaway statement, and it's funny, but it's kind of throwaway. Not everyone's idea about the game is good. Here's a good example. There's a video out now that shows smoke screens. People have been A lot of people have been saying we should have smoke screens, we should have dynamic weather, we should have all this stuff, and I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Like, what on earth? What does that do?
yeah.
Really? Other than it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, it only adds to the aesthetics. It doesn't really do anything, does it?
Yeah. They're also going to have exploding cans and stuff that is going to knock down pieces of the map and such. So there's going to be some kind of dynamic explosion things. Whether that damages tanks or not, I don't know. Anywho's. What else? What else? Missions, subjects du jour. That was all on the forums. We really went down rabbit holes there.
We did though, really,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah.
I need a favour from chat. Sorry, Guido, to sort of like.
Okay.
The reason why I've been slightly distracted is that I made some biscuits some time back, didn't I? Remember those? Remember I made them, and I posted a picture on Discord, and Todd is asking for a copy of the picture, and I've got it somewhere on my files, but I don't know if anybody can find it in Discord. The biscuits. It was a plate with flowers behind, but I've gone down the whole road of searching for biscuits, and I've come up with all sorts of stuff, but not my pictures. So if anybody does find it, let me know and I'll repost it. I've got it on my file somewhere. Anyway,
Pilgrim needs his biscuit picture.
yes, I can make biscuits. That's what I wanted to say.
Now,
But anyway, where were we?
speaking of monetization.
Yeah, let's speak of monetization.
Speaking of, how about them boxes, fellas?
That's monetization at its finest art,
Holy
isn't it?
Holy macaroni. What on earth?
Sorry,
That-
did that come across? I
that-
got to switch my mic off.
It honestly surprised me. Did we have lunar boxes that fast last year, guys? I feel like we...
I can't remember lunar boxes, but I sort of remember them, but I don't think they were. They're like trying to make it more than Christmas.
But I don't remember. Did we have them?
I can't.
Everyone's-
Let me think we had them.
Some of the guys have way better memory than me right out there. Maybe they'll dump it in chat whether we actually had boxes or not.
They are, Todd. They are rubbish. They are a money-grabbing scheme. I mean, all
St.
of them.
Patrick's Day, so it was a little later. That's right.
Yeah.
That it was a little later. There was a lunar event last year. There has been for years. I don't know if there were boxes. There were St. Patrick's Day boxes, though. That's right. That's why I think these feel so close to Christmas, because they are.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. You saw I did the video. I opened them again, thanks to Wargaming. Credit where credit's due. I made the content, showed you guys the tank. I will do a review on the tank, but it's not going to come out before the boxes are gone because I'm not getting that many games in. But we'll figure it out. But yeah, they chucked out another Tier 9. So that's the first Tier 9 premium, by the way. Medium.
Yeah.
Medium
Yeah.
premium. First Tier 9 medium
Yeah.
premium. Flag Day boxes more than D-Day. Oh man. Yeah, more evidence, I guess, really at the end of the day. Monetization, crazy. No gold involved for each box.
Right. Okay. I'll be totally controversial with this now. The only reason why they put it out, in my very, very humble opinion, is they put it out because they're covering more than one market. They're covering the Asian market, and there's a lot of Chinese people maybe are invested in that type of celebration. And it's not all about Christianity and Christmas or anything like that.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm not arguing the
I get that, but what they're doing is they're offering this like huge package at Christmas with the gold and the tanks and everything else, and then there's this mediocre Chinese New Year nonsense that comes out with gets your decals, yeah, and a possibility, slim possibility of another tank.
I got a bunch of decals.
Load of decals. I spent £300 on these boxes. I got decals.
Actually, there was no decals. It was 2D styles. I got a bunch of the 2D
2D
styles,
yeah.
as I recall,
Yeah.
and there were personal reserves. So
Yeah.
the math on it is it's a 50 box pity mechanic. So you have to buy two. This is the other thing that irritates me about wargaming. There's no 50 box option here.
No, there
All right,
isn't.
you have to buy
Yes,
two
you're right.
25 boxes to make sure you get your 50 box pity mechanic. I just find that to be needlessly irritating. In the grand scheme of things, is it a massive big deal that I have to buy two? Not really. Does it really have to be that way? Is there some kind of inane psychological benefit to
Yeah.
that? Are they really trying to save? You know, if you look at it, you get 15% off for 300 and 10% off for 25, and they just really didn't want to give 12.5% off for 50. That was a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
they're like,
it's
we just can't do
yeah.
that. We did the numbers and it would break us. We just wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then a 300 box. What is with the 300 box?
Oh, Matt, some of that. I mean, look at the money that they're asking you to spend. I mean, it's just. Well, people who have got the money that use it to spend it, all well and good. Carry on, my friend. Personally, I couldn't spend. I couldn't in a wanna. I might spend that over a year.
Yeah.
Not in a wanna.
So Sosolo also got 150 boxes, as did I. I got 6 tanks, I recall, right? Is that what it was? I think it was. I got 5 or 6. 6 might be exaggerating, but I definitely got 5 total. Hey guys, let's keep the politics stuff out of it, man. I don't want to get into all that stuff. But why 300?
Yeah.
Sort of, I get it because there were 6 tanks. Sort of. So 300 guaranteed. Say you were at a running start, you could buy the 300. You would get all 6.
You would, guaranteed.
Right, because you have the guaranteed mechanic.
Yeah.
But the 20,
Then
there should be a 50
That's
box.
a lot of money for. Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it? A lot of money for that. Seriously.
Yeah, 255 for 6 tanks. What is that per tank? We're just going off the tanks as being the thing that's worth anything in there. Although that's not how Wargaming looks at it, as we have said in the past. That's 42 bucks a tank, which is a nominally okay-ish amount. A little high for some of the mediums, but a little low for some of the heavies, I think. And certainly low for a tier 9. Plus you get all the other goodies. And more than likely in 300 boxes, you're probably, I won't say you're guaranteed because you're not guaranteed anything, but more than likely in 300 boxes, you're going to hit another 2 or 3, 4 extra tanks in there, I would say. You know what I'm saying?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling with I'm struggling with the whole concept of these boxes being pushed out this time of year, and the cost of them, and the I want to say lack of availability. Well, no, I just find it very cynical, Greeno. That they're using now these boxes as a means to generate money. And
it's a jarring comparison too, isn't it? It's a jarring comparison because you just did Christmas, where it's a fantastic deal. Honestly, it really is. And then you come here and people are like, "Oh, more boxes! Christmas was awesome." They're like,
Yeah.
But I bet you they sold a bunch of them.
Probably did, because people first of all would think, "I'll get a chance to get a tank," okay, because there is that slim chance unless you do the guaranteed thing. And then other people might like the fact that they're getting all those sort of reserves and 2D skins and all the rest of it. They see a value in that. See, I'm working from a very different position, which is probably difficult for me to get my head around it. But I have no value attached to any of the skins or any of the paraphernalia that comes with the tank. As far as I'm concerned, the tank is what I'm interested in. You want to cover it in daisies, that's fine. I don't give a shit about daisies or any other flower for that matter that want to put on a tank, or chocolates or whatever it is the skin is. So I wouldn't pay for it. But that's my own outlook on it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if the tank was just plain green, it wouldn't bother me a slightest.
Yeah, the reskin.
Although,
I'm with you. The reskins are weird. People on Reddit are complaining about the 590.
Yeah, really. Oh dear.
Oh man, I played it once and it got destroyed, so I don't know. but I got nuked by a Cobra. Put 4 shots into me. So there's the boxes, dudes. I don't know what to say about them.
I can't recommend them. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, it's hey, you spend your money how you spend your money. But personally, it does nothing for me whatsoever. I wouldn't even look at it. I didn't. To be honest, I haven't even clicked on it. I just thought, Lunar Box is not interesting.
Crazy Red Wolf says if you're a new player, the box is a great deal. Oh, if you're saying you're starting from a running start and you can get the 6 tanks or something, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of money to invest and just get. I mean, it's a guarantee of 6 tanks. I get that. So you'll have the 6 tanks, but it's a lot of money to put into.
But it's what you. Yeah, what's funny about that, Pilgrim, is what you said earlier. If you looked at the amount of money you spent over the years.
Yes, no, I get that.
I mean, I suppose if you looked at what I'm going to budget this 250. This is my first 6 months of Watt, and I'll get 6 premiums, and it'll take me a while to play those and enjoy those and whatever. Might be okay. But if you're talking about your established player base who's only really interested in the 590, let's be honest, right? Yeah. There might be a couple of the other ones you're interested in. You don't have those or whatever, but the draw is clearly the tier 9 medium premium.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't give them,
Ozen makes a very good point. You know, a new player. That's
right. That's a good point.
Is a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying every new player that comes into the game and has a premium tier 9 is going to be a complete idiot, but they won't know the mechanics.
Right.
And and it's just a struggle, isn't it?
They could have had a lunar event without boxes, and it would have been awesome.
Would have been awesome.
Right. They have all the missions. They do all that stuff. Could have even been a something sold covered, but the whole box thing, man, it's completely out of control.
Yeah. It's a money grab, and
I've always supported the boxes. I've never been one of these.
Yeah.
I've never been one of these. It's gambling. Sorry for those.
Sorry
for those of you who believe it's gambling. It's.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not bothered about that. If people believe it's gambling, that's fine. And even if it was gambling, it's fine because it's a personal choice to actually go.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's not a problem. They can package it how they like. I don't care. But at the end of the day, if the package falls far below the expectation,
yeah.
I'm like, well, why do I bother? I'm not spending £300 of my hard-earned money on something that just falls below my expectation. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, let's get off that.
Let's get off it.
Let's go see.
Yeah, there is a 50% sale on.
Yeah, guys, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Yeah, equipment and consumables, which is hot on the heels of the Christmas one, actually. So I don't actually need it. I bought a bunch of stuff. And I almost went in there and started buying more, and I looked at my numbers, and I went, well, I don't need it.
Got 500 large kits.
Yeah, let me go to 1,000. That'll be fine.
Dear.
Battle Pass chapter. Oh, this is new. This wasn't here this morning. Let's see what's going on here. What do we got? Not much. It says Battle Pass chapter, February leak, and Broken Tier 8 premium tank. Okay, Broken Tier 8. At the end of next week, another special will suddenly start. Battle Pass. It will be without a tank, but it will be a continuation of the previously promised collaboration. I have no idea what that means.
No.
Pensioners. If at the beginning of next week, pensioners continue to donate so little to Dragon boxes, that's right, Wargaming didn't make it possible to donate. Continue. I don't know what that means. This is translation, so it's... Didn't make it possible.
Well, I can sort of guess that it means the older players, the ones that have done so much, the pensioners, are not buying Dragon boxes. So they're not buying Dragon boxes in the quantities that Wargaming anticipated.
Yeah, is that what you think that means?
Yeah.
But what is that's right? Wargaming didn't make it possible to donate? I don't understand that.
Oh, that's good. I don't know.
Anyway, this is saying this is a terrible. There's not a whole. Yeah, you need to fire the translator. I don't know what this means. So what overpowered tank from 2023 for sale would people want? The BZ? Wasn't it just for sale a while ago? The 176? Has it not been sold since Christmas? Relearning the game. GA, right on. Welcome back.
That's what it means. I've just read chat. I think that's what it means. Wargame didn't make it possible to donate. In other words, you can't gift
Oh.
boxes, but you can Christmas.
Okay, well, there you go. That's possible. That's a possible answer. I like it.
So basically, they've not sold enough boxes. So well, this is the supposition of this statement.
You know what?
Wargaming
Good.
Yeah,
You know what? Maybe that's the best result of the whole thing.
absolutely. It was
Too close on the heels of Christmas.
Yeah.
Not a great deal. The Tier 9 wasn't really that interesting anyway. Maybe that's...
So maybe the tier 9 will come up for sale.
Well, I don't know. I think it might be the BZ.
Do you? Not the tier 9 medium. Oh,
I don't know.
interesting. I
Anywho,
thought the BZ, like you said, was on sale only recently.
I don't know. Somebody said... Yeah, Chubby says no. If that's the answer he was answering, or the question he was answering. Let's see. We got some common test stuff. This is... Oh, actually, I forgot to say, another good leak is that Tier 4 and above will make points for Battle Pass.
Oh, that's cool.
And I actually read that the bonus will continue to be 15 points for both Tier 4 and 5, which sort of surprises me a bit. That means you would be able to get the bonus even faster with those tanks because their totals are less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting. That is interesting.
EBR Tier 8, maybe?
Well, I do think it is it a good way to bring players into the mode? I think possibly it is. Maybe to bring more players into the mode, because if you've got the tiers to play, because they gift you the tier tanks to play in. Do they not? No, they don't. No, they don't. Am I talking front line now? Yeah.
You're talking frontline.
I'm talking front line.
They're just allowing Tier 4s and 5s to make Battle Pass points. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not down there very much anyway, and there are a lot of people who like the game at that tier. So whatever, let them get Battle Pass points.
Absolutely.
It might be fun.
More the merrier.
All right, so we got BT42. These are just changes. This was interesting. I looked at this. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are they doing to the Tiger Mouse already? Well, the change is they've changed the historical information. They just put new words in there. So,
Oh, did they?
Okay, whatever. Some of these other things are currently just super test tanks. We got the T-54D, which is another Tier 9 medium tank. Promotional. We have the Tier 8 AAT-60, which is a premium tank, Tier 8 premium medium.
Yeah.
For the Americans. So they did a few updates to that. Penetration change. All right. And then there's also another American medium tank with a rear turret. Interesting. Which is a Tier 9 medium tank promotional.
Ah, that is interesting.
And then we've got a FCM-2C, which is a little Tier 3. We've got a Nemesis, a British Tier 8 heavy tank. And a Type 71.
What that's based on? Well, that looks very much like the Churchill
This?
chassis. Yeah, the British one, Churchill's chassis. That looks like a Churchill chassis, doesn't it?
Yeah, this one's odd. The Type 71 is having a very small change to invisibility during motion and invisibility after a shot. I don't even know what to think of that. How from
why would that
2.28 to
why would that be a
2.22?
thing?
Yeah, and from 0.43 to 0.42. They just got that number wrong, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody wrote it down wrong and then didn't get it right.
I don't know, not working. I don't know. No idea. Then there's the Strids, whatever. Tier 9 TD promotional, another wedge tank. Quite a few changes on that one. And a BT5, which is a tech tree tank. So what are they going to do here? Ammunition from 165 to 168.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Nothing better to do.
A new type of auction in the Future Maneuvers event. So Future Maneuvers, I think, is a Clan Wars thing, guys. Is that right? And they're going to change the way the auction works a little bit, apparently to make it easier in terms of doing your bids. I didn't dig into it too much, but it is going to change that a little bit. There apparently some what's the word I'm looking for? Quality of life kind of changes there for that. They did they announce it here? Somewhere there's an announcement for the tanks that are going to be available. I think they're in that picture right there. No Chieftain, from what I can tell. No Chieftain.
No.
Premium time. I think they did that already once over in, was it the Asian server? They used some premium time for one of those. They might have tested it over there. 2C pictures. Let's go. They're going to try. Here's another tank, the Chrysler MTC. Tier 8 medium tank. Then we got a...
But these are super test, are they? Or are they in fire?
It's all testing stuff, yeah. Check this out. So this is a Watt RU. It's an ISU 152 with a 1100 HE shell. Or 700 for, I guess, AP and heat, probably.
Yes, really. Oh,
Although that's maybe that's heat and then AP in that order or something. But it's a 156 pen for an 1100. 25-second reload.
Oh, man.
What I'm looking for,
Imagine
though.
going around the corner and facing that, you're like, well,
Yeah.
let me finish the game. Then I might as well just sign off now.
Remember this? The 122-54? Used to
Yeah.
be a tier 9 tank destroyer on the tech tree, I believe. As I recall. Is that right? Was it a
Yeah, it
tech
was a
tree?
tech tree
I think
tank.
it was. They removed it, and I guess Watt RU, this says Watt RU, is looking at bringing it back as the 122-1956. AKA the Su 122-54. I kind of like that tank. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
32-bit, fellas. Any of you guys still rolling 32-bit? They're going to end support for 32-bit. Which reminds me of something else completely different. Any of you guys that have an HP Reverb headset, Windows is going to drop support for Windows Media, WMR, whatever it is. Your Reverb HP G2 yada yada is about to be bricked.
That's the update, isn't it? That's Windows 11 update.
Yeah, later this year.
Yeah.
So it's not just we're not doing any more updates. They're removing it, and it will not work as of right now unless there's some kind of workaround that HP is going to do or somebody else. I don't know. I have one. So my headset is about to be useless.
But is there no update for the headset to be able to?
As of right now, I don't know.
Windows 11. No.
Because it runs through Windows Media Mixed Reality. I guess Windows Mixed Reality.
Right.
Yeah, WMR. Windows Mixed Reality. So that's how it operates.
Right.
There aren't, as far as I know, right now, there aren't any workarounds that I'm aware of. Maybe somebody will come up with something, but who knows
Something, yeah.
if it'll be some patchwork thing. One option is to not update your Windows, but that's not a great option because they're constantly putting
not, is
out,
it?
you
No.
know, security stuff and whatever. So that reminded me of that. I'm trying to find. Here it is. Guess what? Mountain Pass is getting re-wickered again.
It is.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Again and again, but not made any better.
Well, and they're not really sorting the problem areas out.
No.
What they're doing is they're opening up. Look at all this bush, all these bushes where people hide to defend this cap because this cap is still
Yeah.
defendable, which is one of the reasons why the win rates are so out of whack.
Yeah.
So they are sort of touching on some of the problems. You can see up here that they just sent the Agent Orange through and nuked all the trees. From this view, you can see they got rid of this hill and they've opened it up a little bit here. There is some hold down defensive capability right there, it looks like.
Yeah, maybe.
So here's the old trees. Remember, that's where everyone hides back there. And then you got guys up the hill, and it's a brutal crossfire. Well, boom. That's sorted out. Boom. Just burned down the forest. Forest has been burned down. This, I don't know if this is an issue or not necessarily, but this is the bridge view. They had changed this to where this rock, and it looks like trying to remember. Yeah, this is what it looks like right now, and they're cutting this down a little bit. This sort of feels like what it used to be honest. I think it used to be a place that was more like this, and I don't know if you can get a gun up and over that or what, but
Yeah, that was different, wasn't it? You could.
I don't.
No, and that's the other side. No, I think that. Was
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
side, wasn't
I
it?
don't know if it's more similar to where it was or just a change. Hard to tell for me. Move this map to blocked. Yeah, this is the redone lower area, and so they built all these hold down spots and cover. And look at they just open it up again.
Yeah, yeah.
Just totally. Oh man.
Because at one point you could work that corner from that side, from the opposite side, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You couldn't once they changed it all.
This looks closer to what it used to be honest. They did change this side of the bridge. They've opened it up, or if they close it or open, I keep getting confused on which one's which. They've closed it up a bit, so the ability to get over here and nuke people down below is less, it looks like. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference on this one, to be honest. I don't know if this is the same picture or it was a mistake or what the heck's going on, but I'm trying to look at this. I'm assuming it has something to do with this position here, but I see
Yeah,
almost
look at
no
the bushes.
difference.
Look at the bushes. There's a difference in the bushes there.
Barely, though.
Only slight, more rock.
Maybe? I don't know. I could barely see it.
Yeah, it's not huge.
Same thing for this picture from the other side. I'm like, are these the same pictures? What am I looking? I'm like, what am I looking at, fellas? This looks like the exact same picture. I don't know. Help me, guys. What's the difference? You guys see it?
Yeah, other than
It feels like the same picture.
yeah, it doesn't. It just well,
Yeah, there's 2 pixels over here on this bush, and
yeah, they've changed 2 pixels.
don't know.
Of course they have.
Can't tell. But point is, they're going to take another stab at Mountain Pass. Good luck, fellas. It's a horrible map.
It's just no, it's a terrible. It's channelized and it's horrible. It really is.
Yeah, it's probably one of the it's the poster child. It's the
map,
poster
that
child
map.
for channelized
Yeah.
maps.
Yeah, and it used to work better, believe it or not, when you could mountain goat that map. If you could mountain goat that map, it created a different player a lot of the time.
It's
You can't
horrible.
mountain goat it now.
It's horrible, and they made it horrible. Buller.
Blah.
Yeah, they made it completely horrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. All right, so that's that stuff. What else we got? I think that's about it, man. Other than the end of Watt is confirmed.
Well, can we just very briefly touch on CW?
Cold War?
Yeah,
All right, hit it. I thought you deleted it.
I have, but I've had time to muse and ponder.
You've pondered.
I pondered
And
mused
thought.
thought.
So
Yeah.
Pilgrim is about to give us his ponderous thoughts.
Ponderous thoughts, indeed they are. Very heavy on the mind. I think, get this, I think it's Wargaming's attempt to create a tank game that is designed for the Twitch player, for the COD player, for the
Oh, 100%.
Tarkov player.
Yeah, yeah.
100%. And I
Oh, yeah.
think that it is not World of Tanks 2. I think very much it is trying to corner the younger market. Let's call it younger, or the people who have far better reflexes than I do, and start to create a game that makes money and brings in more interest. I think our World of Tanks is not going to change that much. I think we'll still have our World of Tanks, and there'll be this new game. Not
Yeah.
World of Tanks 2.
Yeah, yeah.
There'll be this CW.
This game is gonna it's gonna zombie lurch forward for a while. I don't know if we're exactly zombies yet, but we're starting. We're definitely we're upper middle age, and the back is starting to hurt and the knees are really sore and maybe have a bad shoulder. Oh, that's me. Wait a minute.
That's me.
That's me.
Arthritis.
That's not the game. Sorry, guys. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're not a zombie. We're not elderly necessarily. There you go.
No, yeah.
That's the spirit, Jimmy. That's the
There you
spirit.
go.
Play them
Play
both.
both. Yeah, exactly.
Just want to dance.
Stanley
And
Gator.
Gator. They need to. They do need to have some kind of tank dance, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, they need to have. I don't know what. Like the turret spins one way and the whole the other.
Yeah,
and maybe it does. Maybe it has hydraulics and it does this or
Yeah,
something.
have the tracks going opposite directions and all that. You know, that would be cool.
That's a good suggestion. Make sure we get that out there. There has to be some kind of tank dance.
Yeah, it'd be cool, wouldn't it?
He brings up a good point, though, Pilgrim. He brings up a good point.
Go on.
Most people probably do play both.
Yeah.
You know, it's not my cup of tea, but I bet most gamers will play or dabble in both. You never know. You got to load the game up and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Well,
Maybe you like
I
it.
said to you, yeah, like I said to you, for me, it would be a fun stress reliever just to jump into CW, go around, blast a load of tanks, get killed. No emotional investment.
I know, but eventually you're going to want to try to get better because
No,
eventually
no.
everyone else will, and you'll
Yeah.
jump in, and then you're going to get be the equivalent of a
Absolutely.
headshot. You're going to get
Yeah.
your pixel's going to get penetrated, so to speak, and you're going to be dead, and you'll be like,
God
well,
forbid if I had my pixel penetrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
all right. What were you going to say? You got the floor.
About the wargaming employee I met.
All right.
Yeah,
So Pilgrim met a
Yeah.
current or former.
he's former
Okay.
when the office was in Minsk.
Can you drop names, or you're just going to leave it at that at employee?
Well, his name's Dan. So put
Okay.
it that
All right.
way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what was said discussion about?
Well, I asked him what was the reasoning behind the removal from Minsk. I mean, we all sort of guessed and thought, it's all to do with
Right.
politics and everything that's
Right,
going
right.
on. Apparently, that was a part of it, but the larger part of was a financial reason. In that, there was a huge amount of taxation going on within the country that it was situated in on that particular business,
Right.
that type of business.
Right.
And it was very restrictive. Not only taxation, but also restrictive
Rules and
monetization
regulations.
laws.
Yeah.
Monetization laws and everything else. So that probably a bigger reason. It was more likely the political situation just tipped the balance of the scales.
Right.
We're already considering
Right.
moving for business reasons as opposed to what happened. And I think just what broke the camel's back was the political situation.
That's almost
So
always
I
the
thought-
reality of things, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
people like we said
Yeah.
earlier, people like to ascribe analog. It was this or it was that. And often it's more like you said. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. And yes, it was hugely important for causing the last push, but there was history and build up and other reasons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the chap works in London now. He moved from Minsk to London. He's no longer, I don't think, connected directly now. Well, as much as I can say, he's a
How'd you meet him?
he's
Randomly or through someone else you know?
well, I had my association dinner down there, military association dinner, and after the dinner, we ended up in some random bar somewhere. I mean, I don't drink, so I was just merrily watching people get drunk and fall over, and I got chatting to this guy at the bar, and I publicise your channel no end to any stranger that happens to be passing. You know what I mean? I said, if you want a good watch on a Sunday, watch We Don't Want To. And he goes, well,
That's
because
terrible advice.
Yeah, it is.
It's horrible.
So, and then it all came out that he was an employee on the legal side, and is still connected in some way, but he doesn't actually work directly for the company now. So unless he's a consultant of some sort.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was just a random. I mean, I've got his number now.
Like if
So-
you think about a company that's international, that's that big, plus all the laws and regulations they have to manage, I'm assuming they have on retainer all kinds of lawyers and accountants and
Absolutely,
it would
they'll
be.
have consultants and all sorts.
Oh, absolutely.
In each of the countries they operate out of, because the laws are different in every country, aren't they? So
Yeah, what a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Todd, whatever they admitted publicly is probably only 30% of the truth. to be honest.
Oh, there's no doubt that was a huge part of it. I mean, clearly it
Yeah.
happened, and then it was probably smart on their part too. Otherwise, it's like, okay, how are we going to navigate through all that mess?
Yeah.
We're just trying to make a pixel tank game.
Because
Yeah.
the interesting thing he said is, flash to bang, look how quick that happened. And he said it was already in the planning due to other reasons. And that's why it could happen that quick, because they'd already done, like we planned for war, fight for peace.
Well, if you recall, they had already done a several reorganization pushes right before all that.
Yeah.
They had consolidated and moved some offices and responsibilities around, and they were already
That's right.
actually talking about the NA moves and things like that. It was all rumored to be a factor and happening. So that just got piled on top of something they were, and it may very well have changed exactly how they and what they did.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
there was already, I think, a lot of movement in shifting.
Yeah.
Because they had already told a bunch of Minsk people that they were asking them to move before all that.
Yeah.
And they were doing
right.
severance packages and a few other things, and then that whole thing
yeah.
hit the fan. And
Yeah.
like you said, that I think it just accelerated and probably changed some of what they were planning on doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, fellas, that's 2 hours, and I'm all out of things to talk about. Plus, I gotta get out there because I got. So
You got
what
jobs to finish.
Yeah,
and
so
also
I have
cooking
to. I
do.
got to go to the school. We got to put up the universe, not the universe, but the solar system, because it's
Yeah.
her class is in the solar system phase of school,
Okay.
and they have what's
Planets?
it's called the space bubble, and it's it's that thick plastic, and I've built this thing, and it's probably 40 feet long, and it gets about 5 feet tall with a box fan, so it blows up, and they all
Wow.
crawl in there, and then you hang the
Wow.
planets from the
Awesome.
ceiling.
You can see you can see.
Yeah.
Did you know? Here's a question. Here's a thing for you. You can probably pass on, which probably everybody knows anyway. That Saturn only needed to be 5 times larger to be another sun. It would have starred up. It would have become a star if it was just 5 times bigger than it is now. There you go. Because it's predominantly hydrogen gas.
Yeah,
We'd have 2 suns.
that would be bad, I think.
I think that would be. It'd be very warm, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think this whole thing wouldn't have gone that way.
Oh yeah.
So I have to create the solar system. Then we have to get to the store to buy the stuff. Then I have to cook the stuff, and then I can relax and watch the football game. No, I can't. I have to do all the host stuff.
Yeah. You'll be hosting. You'll have it on the background.
I'm facing kind of a painful Sunday, actually.
You are, yeah. When you look at it like that, yeah.
I'd almost rather play World of Tanks.
At least for 2 battles.
Yeah, until I cry. Oh,
Yeah.
I never win. All right, guys. Thanks for coming by. We're going to see if there's somebody to raid. Let's see what we got. There's always someone to raid, but who is it?
Always.
I don't see anyone I know. Anyone you guys know? I can hear the families up and about, so I got to get going here. What do we got? Save it for Miserable Monday. Are the Awesome
Yeah.
Epic guys up? They are. All right, let's go raid Awesome Epic guys. Why not?
Why not, indeed?
Why not? All right, dudes. Well, Pilgrim, thanks for coming by.
Pleasure indeed.
Let's get here.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody who came today, thank you so much. Appreciate the subs and the follows, all that good stuff. I don't know when I'm going to be able to stream again. You know what? Ideally Thursday. I think I may be able to get one in on Thursday. That's my next day off. But we will not have Coffee Talk on Sunday. So Thursday I might be able to get a stream in. So expect that. All right, so let's get this raid going. That's all I've got from the left side of the Atlantic.
That's all I've got from the correct side of the Atlantic. Take care, everybody.
You guys have a fantastic Sunday, and off we go.